Hi, my name is Roxanne Bogucka, and I am a health sciences librarian at the Life Science Library, picture of which you see behind me, although I'm not there now, at the University of Texas at Austin. This is the library that contains biological sciences material, and that is in the UT Tower, which is sort of in the center of the UT campus. As a health sciences librarian, I do select and order books and journals and videos and all sorts of material in the area of health sciences. But a lot of what I do, the bulk of what I do, has to do with um, helping people find the information that they need either for their education or for the research that they're doing. I particularly help people in UT's College of Pharmacy, School of Nursing, public health program, biomedical engineering, um, and nutritional sciences department. I chose to work in the field I'm currently in sort of a roundabout path. Um, when I went to college, I started out in engineering, but found that I was much more interested in the natural world. And so I switched to a major that was called Wildlife and Fisheries Science. Um, I attended Texas A&M University. At UT, there are people who study similar things, and their major would probably be called zoology or integrative biology. Wildlife and fisheries science meant that I studied and took classes about all kinds of animals. I took a mammalogy class about mammals. I took an ichthyology course about fishes. I took courses in herpetology, and I took ornithology courses. I also took geology, meteorology, astronomy, um, botany. So just general courses about the natural world. A lot of people who study wildlife and fisheries science might become rangers, or they might go on to uh, get an advanced degree and become field biologists. Another thing that people do with that sort of general study of all aspects of the natural world is that sometimes they work in natural history museums. And that's what I intended to do when I was getting my degree. I thought that I would go and work at a natural history museum, but I found that I also really enjoyed um, finding the the information um, about this and reading about the research that other people were doing. And I had already been working in libraries while I was in school and had developed a fondness for that kind of work. So this brought me into the field of being a science librarian by bringing together two things that I really liked. Um, Science, which frankly I was led to science um, for I'm afraid not very noble reasons, for simple selfish reasons of curiosity. It was what I liked. And then I also liked the work I was doing in libraries. And so I brought those things together as a science librarian. And I've been with the University of Texas Libraries for almost 15 years. In the course of my career, I haven't really faced any obstacles that I think would translate to your lives. Some of the obstacles that I faced, as you can see from my hair, I'm pretty old. So some of the obstacles that I faced had to do with the times in which I was in school and studying. Um, there were obstacles in studying wildlife and fisheries at the time that I did, because there weren't a lot of women in the department. And so there were some issues there. There were not a lot of people of color in the department, so there were some issues there. Um, these issues, I hope, are less significant these days, but as we know, there can still be issues. The advice that I would give to anyone who wants to pursue a science related field is to find some information and some people who are doing it. If you're here in the Austin area, you're pretty lucky because we've got the University of Texas, we've got St. Ed's. There are people locally that you can run down and contact and get information from. But if you want to go beyond that, or if you don't quite know how to reach out to people, a lot of professional organizations have information that you might want. So if you just do a search for professional science organizations, you'll see that there's a whole list of them across the front of the page here. And almost all of these professional science organizations have some sort of outreach office. They may be having some publications for young people who are interested in pursuing this field, or they may have a list of people who are willing to be contacted to talk about the work, or who are even willing to be mentors to young people who want to go into the field. Another piece of advice, I guess, that I would have for you is to start reading, start finding where the literature is. That's what we call the information, the publications, we call it the literature, about the topics that you're interested in. You'll see things in the news, you'll hear things on the news, or you'll see things in magazines or publications, and run that back. If they say that somebody at the University of Texas at Austin has done a study on something about butterflies that you're interested in, try to find that actual study, try to find that actual person, see what sort of work have they done and published about, and maybe even see if you can contact them informally. Thanks for your time, and good luck in science. Bye.